What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Paladins tier list video. This one's going to be for the Pirates treasure update. Not quite sure what specific number update we're on currently. Either this is 2.8, 2.9, or 2.10. Not quite sure. Pirates treasure update. You guys know the deal. What one we're currently on. If you guys want more videos like this in the future and you guys want to support me, feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. That'd be great. Going to be doing Overwatch content too in about a month from now. Once that does drop on Switch and I get my hands on that, I'm gonna be playing the absolute shit out of that game, and I'm pretty sure I'll be putting 1,000+ hours into that very easily. I'll be doing videos on that for you guys as well. What you guys currently see on the screen and is already replaced in the tier list. It's pretty much stuff that didn't change. There's really no point in talking about it. Stuff on the bottom, I think, can move up or move down a few tiers in my opinion. So we're gonna get this started before my computer crashes, because it crashed once already and this is my second time recording this fucking video and I just wasted 20 minutes of my life. So please leave a like, because I've been going through a lot of shit with this computer. Gonna get right into it. Androxus, I think I put Androxus at A- last time. I'm actually going to put him at a solid S. I think Androxus, he did get a few changes. I think he got a momentum buff to his nether step, which you can tell it's a lot more fluid. And he got a huge alt buff. You guys do not know how much of an alt buff this actually is. Before, you dash into the air pretty much every time you use your alt, or at least me, every time I use my alt. Dash into the air, you click the alt button, and if you die like mid-air before you even get your alt off, your alt charge would be 100% gone. So you would not have your alt even though you did not use it. Now you have to. It's a upon fire alt. So you can say the voice line, "Death awaits you all." And if you don't get any shots off, you'll still have your alt 100% up. It works kind of like Victor's Barrage, to where it has 3 charges. If you only use 1 charge, you still retain 40, I think 60% of your alt or something like that. It's going to be the same thing with Androxus, which is so much better. I've already like died midair and I have not lost my alt. Made me so much happier. It's such an insanely good buff for Androxus, and it's a huge step in the right direction for Andro. I think now with Andro, with Cursed Revolver, people are starting to learn Cursed Revolver. Even myself. Cursed Revolver actually ain't too bad. The only thing about Cursed Revolver that sucks is it has severe damage fall off. You're only doing 240 at a distance. Otherwise, up close, you can get some decent amount of headshots if you're good at landing headshots. I think it does like 900, which is kind of insane. I think either 800 or 900, one of those two. So still insane damage close range, at least with Cursed Revolver. It just needs, if you want to put them up, if they need to like put them up to like a higher tier, one more buff I'd give it to Androxus. Reduces cooldown on his nether step at base, and I'd give him decreased damage fall off at range. That's what the 2 buffs I'd give him to put him into the right direction. I think that'd be good, and that'd make him super solid. Buck, I think I had Buck at an A- last time. I'm gonna move Buck up to an A+. I think Buck right now is probably getting moved into the right direction. He's not going to be on like every team. There are specific comps he'll work good against. He can 1v1 squishies like in the snap of an eye. Bounce House is insanely good for burst damage. As long as you're not getting your kills stolen from you, Buck is great. But if you have teammates that are like constantly stealing your kills, and you're not able to get your cooldown reduction through your loadout, then that's when Buck kind of suffers. The same thing, he doesn't do jack shit at range. He has 0 poke damage at all. If you want to do any damage, you have to get up close and personal. If a team's like constantly grouped up, you're just gonna be constantly getting fucking blown up. That's Buck's only issue. Otherwise, I think Buck does insane amounts of damage, and he can pretty much 1v1 like most squishies in the game. Apart from I think like things like Koga, stuff like that, Sky, stuff that can like burst you down super easy. Dredge. Dredge now is probably the second worst character in the game, apart from Moji. They changed his alt. They reduced his spam. I think he had like a burst type spam. I think it was with his scuttle or something with his scuttle. They changed the damage on scuttle again or something like that, and they changed his ult to where it only does 1400, but it has a knockback, and it's a little bit faster deploy time. His ult is absolutely fucking useless. His ult can't even kill a fucking squishy. Yeah, it does chip damage and it knocks somebody back. I want an ult that can fucking kill, especially with how long it takes for his ult to charge compared to like any other blaster in the game. His ult needs to have, it should be reverted. His ult right now is garbage. He has no mobility. He's slow as fuck. He gets dove by absolutely everything. His damage output is compared to other blasters, at least right now on console. It's just not there. It's just not there, guys. If you're a Dredge main and you're absolute Dredge like one trick sweat, then go ahead pick him up. He still can do decent. The only thing I would say about picking Dredge is you can pick him on like smaller maps like Bright Marsh and still kind of get away with being okay, because those tracks are kind of, or maps are kind of congested, and if you can just sit and spam, you might be able to do decently well. Apart from that, he's just absolutely garbage. Worst blaster in the game. He's borderline Moji level at this point. If they nerf him one more time, he's going to be Moji level. And I've never said that about a champion in this game ever since I've been playing it. It's funny also how they originally designed Dredge to be a spammy character, but then once he gets to be, people complain that he's too spammy, they nerf what he was created to do. He's meant to be a spammy character. If you didn't want a spammy character in the game, why the fuck did you design Dredge to be a spammy character to begin with? It's beyond me. I don't know what these fucking people are thinking. Drogo's got a buff. His base kit with Wormjet's. Wormjet's got a bit of a nerf. It's still decently good. I tested it. It's decently good. I'm actually going to move Drogo's up to a solid A+. I think I had him at an A- or an A last time. Fusillade is insane. It does, I think, 1,060 damage per rocket, which is almost 2 shots like every squishy in the game. So if you can land your rockets, you can do decently well. And now your booster, or your booster and your flight booster actually is a lot better. You can actually fly around like for a decent time in the air with your base talents, with combustible and with Fusillade. I actually say Fusillade and combustible are actually better than Wormjets now, at least on console. He does pretty good damage. His only downfall is that he gets fucking destroyed by hit scan and like long range things. We have Leon like on every team and burst mode Victor on like almost every team on console. He just can't do what he needs to do. Furia. Furia is going to go up to SS. I think Furia right now is the best spot she's ever been. She is the best healer in the game on console. Solar Blessing, absolutely insane. Cherish, another viable option. Cherish right now on longer range maps like Fish Market, Splitstone Quarry, stuff like that would have like maps that have like long range of sight. Frog Isle, it can actually be viable on, and it's actually not a throw pick anymore. That and her ult right now is absolutely insane. She has probably one of the best support ults in the game. Insane damage numbers for being a support. She's a hit scan as well. Hit scan healer, always better on console compared to like a projectile like Ceres, stuff like that. Best healer in the game. If you do not pick Furia in your support main on like pretty much almost every team that has like double tank or stuff like that, I don't know what's wrong with you, honestly. The only reason I would not pick Furia on like maps that have like that like healers like Io and stuff like that can be a little bit better on, or like Grover. I'd pick Grover over Furia on like Bright Marsh only, stuff like that, like situational picks. Genos is no longer the best healer in the game. I'm gonna put him at a solid S. I don't think he's an S plus material anymore either. The reason that being because Sky damage amp is gone now. I mean, if you want damage amp, I think actually I'm gonna put him in S plus. I think just for the damage amp, he's the only damage amp in the game now that can actually be decent. Torvald is absolutely dead. You're never going to be picking Torvald ever unless you plan on like completely sweeping a game in under like 10 minutes. Apart from that, if the game goes longer than 10 minutes, you're gonna be fucking screwed. You're gonna be down an absolute player. It's gonna be a 4v5 all game after 10 minutes. So I think Genos is a solid S plus. Just because he's probably the best damage amp. If you want solid base damage amp, 15%, go ahead, pick Genos. He's no longer a decent solo healer though. I think he just gets burst down super easy by Sky. Victor just fucking destroys solo healer Geno comps. Same with that. So same with Vivian. Lex. I'm gonna put Lex down to an S. Damage amp really hurt Lex because now that Hunter's Mark is gone, that's one thing that Lex made him really good. Is you stacked higher on your team, you put Lex, or like Janos or a Torvald, you pair him with that, and he just destroys. Now he doesn't really have that crutch anymore to really do anything. I think solid S still though. Leon, best damage champion in the game right now. She is the only damage champion in the game with a one click of a button that can delete like almost half of your health with Eminence. Honestly, I think Leon needs a nerf at this point because she's fucking insane. I absolutely hate going against a good Leon, especially with Eminence because you're standing on the other side of the map and you can get fucking bursted down to like half health if you're like a squishy. Say you're like a Victor, you get like legit blown up with like 1100 damage from across the map. Not something I want to be dealing with. Eminence needs to be reworked or nerfed. And I think Presence, even at base, 800 is too much damage. Reduce it down to 600, please. Her ult's fine. Her ult's decent. I'm fine with her ult. If you're not picking Leon in ranked on like every team, Leon's a must pick. I wouldn't say she's a must ban. I don't think she's a ban worthy pick over like a Vivian or a Talus. But if you want to ban her out, she's a worthy ban if you really think so. Over a lot of other things. Vivian, best champion, one of the best damage champions in the game. She just sits there and fucking brains down damage. I think even now more than ever because before you have damage amp, Tyra can 1v1 you. A lot of other things can 1v1 you with a Tyra mark on you with Hunting Party. Now that Hunting Party is gone and Torvald's nerfed, you really have nothing that can really go 1v1 with you until people start getting Wrecker and start getting cauterized online. That and she has base movement speed built into her loadouts and lifesteal. She can pretty much win 1v1s like at the beginning of the game, like almost every game. Pip, I'm actually going to move Pip up to an S+. Pip right now on console is probably the best blaster in the game for console. Insane ultimate, really good ultimate, really good damage. They also buffed Combat Medic. Combat Medic's not really even good anyway still, even with the buff. But as for a solid like damage blaster in the game, I think Pip right now is the most solid out of all the other blasters currently on console. And he's the most fun to play, in my honest opinion. I have super fun playing him. Saris, gonna move Saris down to an A. Saris right now is probably one of the worst supports in the game. I wouldn't say one of the worst because she's in the same category as Ying, but I'd say she's probably even worse than Ying. Her ultimate doesn't do jack shit. Her healing after like COT 2 barely does anything. You have to run Mortal Reach in order to get decent healing numbers in most cases. The only time I see you picking Saris is on like long maps with long line of sight, Fish Market, Frog Isle, stuff like that where you can heal from far away and not have to worry about getting into combat. Apart from that, she doesn't do jack shit for damage. She's a heal bot. Once Cauterize gets online, you're pretty much spamming one button the entire game without being able to even do any damage, and just pretty much running away from people. That's all you're doing. Shaolin. I really want Shaolin to be good, but I think Shaolin's going to take another hit here. When you have Shaolin and you have what's the reason to use Shaolin over any other damage champion in the game currently on console? Half of his kit gets pretty much checked by Illuminate. Withdraw gets checked by Illuminate. His ultimate gets checked by Illuminate. You pick Shaolin, and somebody on like 2 or 3 people on the opposite team pick Illuminate just to fucking counter you. You pair that with a Sky or somebody that's stupid enough to pick Strix and Sky into a Shaolin. And you have 2 people on your team that have a useless ultimate and pretty much almost useless with certain aspects of their kit. Granted, he does decent damage. His movement ability is on such a large cooldown. I think it's like an 18-second cooldown for withdraw. Unless you run like a reset card once you get below a certain amount of health. That is way too much for a movement ability, especially on Shaolin. And then, I don't know what the reason really is to use Shaolin over something like a Victor, where I can have guaranteed damage by tracking somebody. Shaolin, you have to wait for, I think, 1.5 seconds. Even with recurve, I think it's 1.3 seconds or something to charge up an arrow. That's not even guaranteed to land. Even personally, I'm almost a level 50 shot lane on console. I only land about like 60% of my arrows. That's a lot of damage you're missing out on when you can be choosing like a Victor and all you have to do is track up an opponent that's moving. Strix, we're going to go on next. Strix, I think I'm actually going to move Strix up to a solid S. I think Strix right now, he did get a nerf to his hot swap, which if you guys do not know, if you guys do not know, that's his card that like to increase that I increases the amount, like the quickness he can switch to his pistol and back to his rifle. They nerfed that to where it's only 50. I think it's 50% at base now. It's the highest you can get it. You can definitely feel the nerf. He can't fucking like legit like 1v1 a flank from out of stealth. Like shoot a flank and then like 1v1 them like in 3 seconds anymore. You have to shoot somebody and then you have to like switch and have like 2 seconds like in between before you can like try to kill somebody. In that 2 seconds, he gets a lot blown up a lot easier. He's a lot easier to 1v1 now. His other card, that he got a new card. I think they got rid of a damage reduction card with his stealth, which I didn't even use anyways. They changed that to an ultimate charge card. I think you get, I think it's 15 or 20% ultimate charge out of 5 if you're running 5 points into it, which is a must-run card. The reason why I'm moving Strix up to an S is because of Vault Spam Strix is the new meta. You can still run Crack Shot, you can still run whatever you want to run, but if you're not running a whatever his card is that boosts his ultimate at a 5, you stack morale boost, you stack that card. Um, you legit have, if you're consistently landing shots against people, you legit have your ultimate up almost like every minute or every minute and a half. So you really don't need Crack Shot anymore. All you have to do is just like land consistent shots, and then once a flank comes after you, just throw your just throw a flashbang and then kill the flank anyways. You really don't need crack shot anymore anyways. So, I mean, it's kind of a nerf, but yet at the same time, he got an ultimate buff, which to the point where you're gonna have your ultimate up like almost every time you need it, where you can just like spam your ultimate. And even forces people to buy resilience, so that if you're forcing people to buy resilience just specifically for you, that's a win-win in my book. Talus, best flank in the game. Talus' problem was with Hunter's Mark. Once Hunter's Mark was on, he couldn't do what he needed to do. He just gets bursted down so easy. He can't flank. He couldn't do anything. Now that Hunter's Mark is gone and Hunting Party is gone, he can do what he needs to do now. He can't. He's not easy enough to burst down with Hunting Party. Torvald is nerfed. You can't 1v1 him with like a Torvald shield and have somebody like specifically go after him like all game. Just as an overall flank on console, Talus fucking broken. He's gonna be probably banned like every game in ranked anyways. Yeah, if you're playing ranked. Same with Vivian or like any of these. I wouldn't say Fury is like a must ban, but she's definitely a must pick if you want decent healing. Same with Talus. He's must pick, must ban, definitely. They're actually going to buff him in this next patch, I think, as well, is from what I've heard. In my opinion, he actually needs nerf. He's absolutely broken on console. He needs some type of nerf. Torvald, man, how have the mighty have fallen. Torvald A+. Torvald used to be one of the best tanks in the game. I might actually even put him in an A. A+, either one. I'm not quite even sure. I actually probably put him at an A. Torvald's issue now. Is it really worth picking Torvald? The only reason you're going to ever pick Torvald is if you plan on steamrolling the game in under 10 minutes. If you cannot steamroll a siege match or the ranked game in under 10 minutes, and fucking just like mollywop your opponents and body your opponents in under 10 minutes, Torvald becomes completely useless. Once people start stacking Wrecker up to Wrecker 2, you have like 3 or 4 people stacking Cauterize and Wrecker. He's just pretty much like a bubble bot that doesn't do anything. He's just dead weight. It's pretty much a 4v5 at that point. He doesn't do jack shit. That's the only reason you're going to be picking up Torvald is if you can try to like, clean up a game in like under 10 minutes. Apart from that, absolutely useless. He doesn't do jack shit. He's absolute garbage. Never pick him. I actually wouldn't even pick him at this point anyways. I'd rather have a second off tank without the bubbles. Any other tank in the game. I'd even take Fernando over Torvald at this point in most cases. At least Fernando does decent damage. He can sit on the point without getting blown up most cases until Wrecker comes online. He has better mobility. He has a better ult. Tyra. We'll put Tyra at a solid S+. I think Tyra still is one of the best damage champions in the game, at least on console. Yeah, the hunting party mark being nerfed did hurt, but it's still decent. You can still get the reveal off. It's just not worth running over like her other talents now. Mercy Kill is way better than Hunting Party at this point, and Firebomb, her Burn Monster, just absolutely nukes tanks. It's actually borderline broken if you're playing a tank. You throw it down, you're in an R, you're crippled, you can't walk off it, half your health is deleted in like a matter of like 5 seconds. Your healer with Cauterize can't keep up. I don't know, I've been there, done that at this point, especially with ranked qualifiers a couple days ago. Jesus Christ. Burn Monster Tyra is back, guys. Burn Monster Tyra, and if you're going against more like a squishy comp, I think Mercy Kill is actually really good as well. Damage reduction, you stack HP. There's healing upon activating the nade launcher, and then you get back like 200 or 300 health per grenade. She still has options, and she's a hit scan, so that makes her a lot better on console by default. If this was Cassie and she got completely nerfed like Tyra kind of did here, then she'd probably be like down to like a B tier. But since she's on console, she's a hit scan, and she has 2 other viable talents that are still really good. She's still going to be an S+. I think she's still super solid. Willow. Willow is the most broken blaster damage champion in the game. Apart from, I wouldn't say Pip's broken. I still like Pip over Willow because I can't play Willow worth shit, unfortunately. But I'd say Willow is the most broken blaster in the game. Insane damage numbers. This is not the patch that they nerfed her. No, that's going to be next patch, guys. She is still insanely good. They did not nerf her this patch. Flutter is insanely good. Still insanely good. Blast Flower, I mean, it still is our best talent. Like, even Scorn, I've seen Willows running Scorn where you can 1v1 somebody. You throw it on the seedling, and you just like nuke them in like a matter of like 3 seconds. It's absolutely insane. That and Dead Zone legit checks Furia. I think if you want a solid check to Furia, you pick up Willow if she's not banned or picked. She's even a worthy ban in my honest opinion right now. You pick up Willow. You throw it on the Dead Zone legit on a Grover. It legit 100% checks Grover. It checks Furia. It forces Furia to run Cherish over Solar Blessing if they're going against a Willow. That's how much Willow right now is over-centralizing the meta. I think Willow right now deserves some huge nerfs. They need to revert her ultimate. I think her ultimate is way too fucking powerful. It charges way too quick. Either they nerf her ultimate the way and revert it to the way it was before, or they decrease her ultimate charge rate. One of those two. And they're going to be nerfing Blast Flower, so at least that's going to be getting nerfed. And her flutter range, I think the next patch is what they're going to be nerfing. So Imani, I'm going to move Imani up to an S. She got some cool buffs. Her fire stance got a lot more buffs. I think her pyre, I think it's her, not her frost bomb, but her fire, whatever fire ability that's on a 30-second cooldown got a movement at base. I think 25% more movement. So if you run it at a 5 now, you get 125% movement speed during that ability. That's a really huge buff, at least for her fire stance. If you want a charge type champion right now, I pick Imani 100% over Shaolin any day. Imani has a better ult, she has better damage presence, better mobility. Half of her kit does not get countered by Illuminate. And for the last champion, we got Io. I move Io up to a solid S+. I think I had her at an S last time. She also did get a huge buff. People not really talking about how huge of a buff this is, but she got a pretty huge buff. Actually 2 seconds behind a wall, you can lock onto somebody, and then if they walk behind a wall, if they're not in line of sight, the heal will still go for I think 2 or 3 seconds, which is around like 800 something health. So that's a huge buff. It feels so much better in game, guys. You got to go try Io in game if you have not played her yet. Her healing numbers are so much better with just that small buff. The only reason why I would say Io was